is writing his speech, Writing with a Purpose for Engaging Humor, but he is still talking about reversing the biological clock with intermittent fasting. Our next speaker is Dr. Ben Chi. Will be speaking on reversing the biological clock with intermittent fasting. His speech will be, he's got 8 to 10, but we'll do 7 to 9. And when do you want me to go ahead and share your screen?
You can share it now.
All right. Welcome to the podium, Dr. Ben.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster and fellow guests, fellow Toastmaster. Every year you will realize there's a lot of people who want to lose weight. Some are thinking about even to the point of using a very expensive breakthrough drug, Ozempic. And I understand it costs about at least $1,000 every month if you're going to go on Ozempic. Even you have insurance, they don't fully cover it. And some people would staple their stomach because they're getting desperate. Some people with liposuction, that comes to $10,000 to $20,000 to $30,000, and possible lots of side effects. What I'm going to tell you today is a simple way to lose weight, lose visceral fat, the most deep and most terrible type of fat, the inner fat, without cost to you. And minimal side effects, minimal. And besides that, you will also reverse your biological age, live longer, add years to your life, and add life to your years. What I'm talking about is intermittent fasting. I'm going to talk to you about 4 types: the 16-8, the OMAD, 1 meal a day, the 32-hour fast, and the 3-day fast, the 72-hour fast. There are more than those type of fasts, but I'm just going to talk to you those 4. You could have variety to it. If you want to go past 72-hour fast, it's recommended in all the research to get medical supervision because of lipids in the liver and so on. So I'm going to talk to you about the 72-hour fast and below. The 16-8-hour fast is where you fast for 16 hours and your eating window is 8 hours. So I eat breakfast at 7. So I stop my eating window at 3. I would finish eating by 3. That's called an 8-hour window, and then I would fast from 3 all the way to 7 a.m. in the morning. If you want, some people, a lot of movie stars and fitness gurus like a 10-6. They start eating breakfast, the brunch at 10, and then they end their dinner at 6. And so they still have 16 hours of fasting. The 16-8 is the most researched fasting, intermittent type of fasting in the last 5 years. It exploded with a lot of movie stars and fitness coaches and fitness gurus. And they have great results. What happens when you fast is that when you start fasting of 12 hours, your body starts beginning to use fat as its source of energy to start burning fat. 12, 13, 16 hours, and it actually hits a peak of deep fat burning at 24 hours of fasting. And then it will continue to hit that deep visceral fat burning until you hit about 3 days and 4 days. Once you pass 4 days, now it's beginning to be a little bit less fat burning and beginning to have a little bit of muscle burning. So, but there's a lot of benefits to fasting even long term, but we're not going to talk about that because you're going to need doctor supervision for safety purposes. Now, fasting by itself is not the magic bullet. It's when you have 8 hours of sleep with a Mediterranean diet, with exercise, all types, that's when it works magically. The research says that if you sleep less than 6 hours, you actually, even if you lose weight, you will burn more muscle than fat, even if you fast. So you don't want to mess up your sleep. So you have to combine it. Now, I want to talk about, so I fast 16 hours every day. I eat breakfast at 7 and stop eating around 3, sometimes 3:30. So I'm a little bit flexible in that. So my fast is probably 15, 16 hours. At least it's maintaining, and sometimes I lose. Like yesterday I lost 1.5 because I thought, I'm gonna talk about intermittent fasting. So I was pretty strict. Around 3:30 I stopped. And I lost 1.5 pounds. Then the OMAD. OMAD is 1 meal a day. It's 1 meal. You eat 1 meal, and then you don't eat anymore until, let's say you eat at 7, a big breakfast, then you don't eat again until 7 the next day. That's called a 1 meal a day, OMAD diet. Now, I have experience with OMAD diet too. It's now you're beginning to really burn more visceral fat. You begin to maximize burning of deep stomach, near the organs type of fat that stores some pollutants and toxins in there and mess up your hormones. Now you begin to really burn the visceral fat. My experience is that it works well if you do it once in a while. If you do it consistently, pretty soon you're just gonna start eating a bigger and bigger meal to make up the 3 meals. And now you're gonna fall asleep around 8 or 9 after you eat in the morning. So that's what I learned. But it is still easier to eat until you're full in the morning, I learned, than to eat at night, that 1 meal. You tend to eat, really make up the 3 meals you're gonna eat at night. So the morning time is really a great experience. And I find great results when let's say I look at a mirror and I say, oh man, I gotta cut down. It's not looking good, especially look at the side. You know there's visceral fat. Then I just eat my meal and I just stop eating. Then I go the next day. When I do that, I notice right away, I look at the mirror, I see results immediately in 1 day. However, if I keep doing it because I say, oh, it worked for 1 day, now I'm gonna do another day, it seems to lose its result. That's what I notice. So I think the body tends to adjust itself, and so we have to trick the body to continue to lose. So now the magic sweet spot is the 32 hours. 2 years ago, in the summer, that's the best time because it's 2 years ago and I'm off as a teacher and it's hot. So it's a great time to do, what I did was 2 32-hour fasts twice a week. Monday, Thursday, Monday, Friday, twice a week, 32 hours. And 2 summers ago, I lost 5 pounds each week. So I lost 20 pounds in 1 month. And it's the time when I noticed I looked like Bruce Lee. Everything lost was really just the stomach. And I was like 6-pack ripped. But I thought, so it's magic. I thought it's magic. I found the fountain of youth. And I even put together a 3.5-hour fasting course in Udemy, and it's published. But then when this summer and I have to work, and now winter, I find it's very hard to fast 32 hours because you have kids running around, you gotta manage, you gotta have strength, so it's hard to rest, take a nap when you're weak. So I find it's only easy if you're on vacation. Otherwise, it's very hard. It depends on your job, but for my job, it's a teaching job, it's very hard. And then the cold seasons, when it's winter, it's also very hard to eat less. There's a tendency to eat more to keep yourself warm. The 72 hours, is the magic of that is that now you're beginning to not just have autophagy. Not just autophagy is getting rid of the dead cells, the weak cells, the bad cells. Not only begin to deep fat, you do more effective. Not only you producing 500% more human growth hormone to keep you young, but your body begin to, in a survival mode, now it's start to produce stem cells, the bone stem cells. Now it's